Stressed Out, a Family Matters special presentation, is made possible by the following partner.
This moment of peace is brought to you by Providence Health and Services. With compassion and excellence, Providence is dedicated to your good health.
Stress is a phenomenon that's never going to go away.
Stress and the heart have a strong connection.
It made me really aware of the unhealthy habits.
Stressed Out, a Family Matters special presentation.
Hello, I'm K2's Brian Wood, and welcome to Stressed Out. From the home to the office, stress can come at us from many different angles. And as stress increases, it can have a damaging effect on your health. So in the next half hour, we'll provide information, ideas, and advice to help you deal with and reduce the stress in your life. Let's begin with how stress affects us and look at the effect it has on the body and the mind.
Exercise treadmill tests have been around for decades. If we get an objective sense of somebody's ability to exercise and they have a high exercise tolerance, then they have a generally good prognosis. But one of the things that a treadmill test can also tell us is how somebody's body responds to stress.
Well, we know that stress has a tremendous effect psychologically and also physically. So there's relatively new research that shows us that stress can actually trigger depression and potentially severe life-threatening depression by impacting chemicals that regulate our mood.
And so we now know that high levels of stress hormone from the fight or flight response will eventually shrink and cause damage to memory circuits that are also affected in Alzheimer's disease.
One thing that we know is that exercise tends to reduce stress. We know that if people exercise on a consistent basis, that they generally experience less emotional stress in their lives. It ultimately is a relaxing thing to exercise.
Exercise, relaxation techniques, meditation. If you spend even a few minutes a day, 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, just clearing your mind, thinking repeatedly of a calming word, a calming phrase, not having that kind of chatter that we all have of our problems running over and over again, that this releases the opposite chemicals, chemicals that counteract stress hormones, and they help the body relax and they help lower your blood pressure.
Also, hand in hand is having a connection with your community and even a religious affiliation that may reflect a lower stress level because you're able to express the trials and tribulations of life to a close network of friends or have a spiritual outlet to relieve your stress.
There's a lot of science, a lot of research telling us that stress has a real effect on people and that effect can build upon itself and can cause severe problems. And we also know that it's really treatable, but we have to pay attention to how we're feeling and to pay attention often to the feedback that we're getting from people around us.
For more information about how stress affects your personal health, just head to the Family Matters section at katu.com. There you will find a complete resource center with video, links, and information to help eliminate stress in your life.
I mean, I think that had I not taken action, I probably would have had to have surgery and had one of my organs removed.
There I was in the middle of my rookie season, bam, it just happened.
Well, some heart disorders like Lamarcus's can strike without warning.
We're talking about my heart, so I had to find someone I could put all my trust in.
Lamarcus and all of our patients are the real heroes here. They depend on our technology and our team approach to care.
Dr. Arson and his team got the job done, and now I'm back on top of my game.
Providence Heart and Vascular Institute, your winning team.
K2 News is on your side to help you stay safe in winter weather. Here's some tips on winterizing your home. Prevent heat from escaping. Check the weather stripping around your doors. Lock your windows to create a tighter seal. Put child safety plugs in all your outlets. Close the fireplace damper when not in use. Cover and seal any holes under your sink. And run a small drip from faucets to prevent frozen pipes from bursting. For more winter weather information, head to katu.com. K2, on your side.
For
24-hour winter weather coverage, go to KATU.com for detailed forecasts, up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, and a personalized forecast for where you live. All at KATU.com. Winter weather is here, and K2 is on your side.
You know the saying, you are what you eat? Well, that really holds true in a stress-filled life. When it comes to dealing with stress, one of the most important elements is your diet.
I mean, I think that had I not taken action, I probably would have had to have surgery and had one of my organs removed. For some reason, stress was impacting my immune system, and that's what made me pause and want to explore, what is it that I'm doing that's wearing me down?
People will often alter their lifestyle and dietary choices around stress. It's kind of interesting. And so what you see then is this sort of ripple effect on the rest of their health.
I felt, bloated, just my hair had been falling out. I wasn't sleeping well.
And so just by having regular meals that are planned well and well balanced, that can be a great source of relief from stress. The second part of it is then to eat foods that have nutrients in them that we know are helpful for the body's resistance against stress.
She was having me eat 3 cups of dark green leafy vegetables, either kale or chard, a day, 2 cups of the yellow and orange vegetables like yams or sweet potatoes. And then she put me on a whole regime of different vitamins, calcium, vitamin D, B vitamins.
Things like raw nuts like walnuts and almonds, those have those good fats that our brain and our nerves need also.
I saw a marked improvement in how I was feeling, and through making these changes, the potentially scary health problem that I had went away.
If you're not eating well, you can't possibly expect to have a healthy response to stress because your internal environment is so disturbed by your choices. Paradoxically, the time that you need really good self-care is when you're the most stressed. And that's probably the single biggest issue that people have trouble with.
For more nutritional advice, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you will find a complete resource center with video, links, and information to help eliminate stress in your life.
If you spend time to breathe an hour out of your day, life's better.
Henry was really sick about a year ago. The ER, lots of hospital visits, lots of doctors. It was really overwhelming. One thing we never had to worry about was Providence, our health insurance. They were really there for us. They made us feel safe.
Providence Health Plans, providing health insurance and peace of mind.
And Henry, he's doing great now.
Family Matters wants to help you take charge of your health.
Both Helen and I know what it's like to battle breast cancer. It's important to pay attention and know your body. That's how I found my breast cancer.
Get regular mammograms. That's how I discovered mine. Providence Health and Services offers a breast cancer registry to help providers give patients better care.
Go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com because K2 and Providence Health and Services know that family matters.
K2 is on your side, and in February, the federal government is requiring all television stations to change the way we broadcast. But digital television is available now. By making your television ready for DTV today, you can avoid potential problems later on. The steps to upgrade have people asking a lot of questions. We've got answers. Go to KATU.com and click on DTV Answers, getting you ready for the future. Another example of how K2 is on your side.
For 24-hour winter weather coverage, go to KATU.com for detailed forecasts, up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, and a personalized forecast for where you live. All at KATU.com. Winter weather is here, and K2 is on your side.
Now a way to tap into the solitude of mind and body. Hear why yoga has become a major source of stress relief.
So we start off with a little bit of grounding and have everybody come into their breath, because breath is essentially a huge thing in yoga practice. If you spend time to breathe an hour out of your day, life's better.
It does a lot, and more than just the physical aspect of yoga as far as strengthening your body. It really helps you bring yourself into the moment, and there's, all of us are hearing and seeing so many distractions these days, and not all of them are healthy for us. So yoga really kind of allows you to bring yourself into the moment.
To me, it is bringing together my physical experience with my mental experience, my emotional experience, making a spiritual experience. Broaden your shoulders. I think there are a lot of people in this society who are constantly moving, but yoga provides an hour where you get to stop and do nothing but focus on you. And I think immediately when you start to combine breathing with movement and you're focusing on your experience, you slow down and you start to realize the unimportance of some of the experiences that we tend to hold on to. Chaturanga to exhale.
If you're on a steady yoga program, all of a sudden you start to feel better. That becomes kind of, wow, I feel good. And then you start to be around other people that are feeling that, and then their influences influence you, and that goes right into diet, literature, how you think. So it all starts to kind of come together in a bigger package.
It made me really aware of the unhealthy habits that were a part of my daily life prior to practicing yoga. And it eliminated the want and the need for most of those. So I feel lighter in my life, and I feel like I treat people differently as a reaction to my yoga. And I react to situations differently because of yoga. Keep your eyes closed.
This is your time. Forget about what's going on outside the door. Bring yourself into the moment, and all of us could use a little bit of that on a day-to-day basis. So,
I feel overall that yoga gives me the tools to be more whole.
For more information about yoga and other activities to deal with stress, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find video clips, links, and useful information to help understand and reduce stress in your life. It is an alternative medicine that has an ancient history, and its calming effect has many saying that acupuncture is a wonder at treating stress.
So Carolyn is coming to our clinic for her health concerns, of which one is an autoimmune disorder, but also stress and anxiety.
Heart palpitations, my blood pressure was high, I couldn't sleep.
So how have things been?
Good.
I check in with her just to see where she's at with regards to her digestion, her energy, just her, in a sense, review of systems, you could say. And then from that, I feel her pulse, and it's the Chinese medicine pulse, not the beats per minute radio pulse that we often talk about in medicine. And so I'm tuning into those channels of Chinese medicine.
I actually started because I have some immune system problems that traditional medicine doesn't really have an answer for. Every immune system problem is aggravated by stress.
The stress is often a sympathetic response, and that fight or flight response. When we have symptoms such as anxiety or pain or cancer or colds and flus, what that's telling us is that the energy is not optimal. Maybe it's not flowing enough, maybe it's flowing too fast, or maybe it's irregular. And so what we do with the acupuncture is to try and optimize that flow of energy. Western medicine would say, we don't know anything about what was just said about qi channels, energy, but what we do know is when we put a needle into the skin, it releases endorphins and enkephalins, the body's natural painkillers. It addresses serotonin levels, dopamine levels, so it helps with relaxation. Tell me when you feel that. You feel that?
I had prescriptions for an anxiety, and that seemed to just treat the moment. Whereas now I feel like I'm moving towards being healthier with that, and rather than just treating a symptom from something.
What acupuncture does is encourage more of that parasympathetic response, that rest and digest response, giving the body, in a sense, a break, but also encouraging more of those relaxation hormones, the serotonin and dopamine.
My blood pressure's down. I'm not having the heart palpitations anymore. I'm sleeping better. And those things weren't happening before, so I have to attribute them to this.
And so that's what we're specifically going for with acupuncture, is to help them relax, but almost reset the nervous system to say, hey, we don't need to be in that sympathetic fight or flight. We can relax and be at peace and at ease.
Like Dr. Chandler said, like, you move towards health. And I feel like I'm able to deal with it better because I feel healthier. It's helped me tremendously, and that I didn't know who I was before, and I didn't recognize myself, and now I feel more like myself. I feel more in control. I like myself, whereas for a while I was not liking myself. I was just too tense all the time.
For more information about acupuncture and other alternative medicines, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find video clips, links, and useful information to help understand and reduce stress in your life.
It takes you to a place you haven't seen before, and that de-stresses.
My mom.
My best friend.
My father.
My grandfather.
My brother.
Me.
Eventually, cancer touches all our lives. We designed the new Providence Cancer Center to make life easier, should it ever touch yours. Providence Cancer Center. We're all about you.
This was a storm that we'll be talking about for years to come. It shut down the city.
I-84 between Troutdale and Hood River closed indefinitely.
Good chance of getting some more snow.
This was a critical time for us to be on air for so long.
Really brutal conditions.
The wind is kicking up.
So many cancellations.
This track's right in over us tomorrow.
We know if we don't get there, the folks at home aren't going to see what's happening. That's our responsibility, and it is absolutely on your side.
K2 News, on your side. Special thanks to K2's U-News reporters.
This is probably our favorite part.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Deborah.
See the layer of ice.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
You can be a U-News reporter too. Share your photos and videos at KATU.com. K2, on your side.
It is one of the simplest things you can do, and for thousands of years, it has allowed people to step away from the stresses of everyday life.
I think today, as I watch visitors to the Portland Art Museum, they come to us and discover in every gallery of the building another place, something that takes your mind out of the day-to-day is the key. It takes you to a place you haven't seen before, and that energizes, relaxes, de-stresses. Art has traditionally been a vehicle for projection, for dreams, for fears, for pleasure. And so when one comes to a work of art, one has the opportunity to step outside, to go into another place. And so when I see visitors come in the museum out of the hustle of the day, they come in, the lobby is a little cacophonous, there's a little noise, there's a little stress. They get through the door, and then you just watch as they encounter their first work of art, their second work of art, as they get absorbed in an exhibition. And the stress comes out of the shoulders, and people settle in. And then they begin to talk, and the excitement of experience, of projection, of discovery takes over. And so art is that vehicle that moves us from the tensions and the stressors of our present into a place that is shaped by time, shaped by ideas, shaped by history, but for us is fresh and new inside our own experiencing or looking, seeing the artwork. It's a place that lets you discover, invent, relax, and re-energize yourself. Art is really that moment when your eye meets an object created by another human being, and you experience something behind the eye in the mind and the heart that you could not experience without that object as the stimulus, as the trigger. Which is why art becomes a point of release, a point of a de-stressor in this world, because we discover another moment, a quieter moment, a gentler moment, a loving moment.
For more information about art's relationship to dealing with stress, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find video clips, links, and useful information to help understand and reduce stress in your life.
There are times when you feel that sort of sense of, I'm just feeling that inner pressure, or something isn't resolved, there's nothing I can do right now. What do? I play Bach. There's something about Bach, I just sit down and play it. It makes you go, ah. Well, blood pressure, whew. I think that's part of it. You're not thinking about the problems of the world while you're engaged in a piece of music. In fact, if it's very complex, you're really not thinking about the problems of the world.
But the repetitiveness, in some ways, makes it very meditative. And I can totally lose myself for an hour. I'll have no concept of time, and all I do is just have such an extreme focus on the piece. Absolutely, it can be one of the most healing and beneficial things spiritually for a musician. You can totally lose yourself in it and completely get rid of stress.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi.
It's good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Music thanatology is a relatively new field within palliative care, and it basically means that we're trained to provide live, individualized, or prescriptive harp and vocal music. Music can provide a connection between our bodies, our emotions, our spirits. It can bring us into greater wholeness. It can bring us into connection, I think, with something greater than us, also with other fellow human beings. There's usually quite a tangible shift that happens from the beginning to the end. Often not only the patient, but the family members close their eyes and sometimes even fall asleep. So sometimes I have a whole room full of people sleeping by the end, and that's exactly what they're needing. And for me, that's a great compliment.
For more information about music and stress, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com.
Welcome to the Providence Cancer Center. I'm Lisa Vance, the Chief Executive here at Providence Portland Medical Center, and I'd like to show you what's inside.
The new Providence Cancer Center on the campus of Providence Portland Medical Center is a center of healing and hope, where elements of nature are as important as the latest technology.
The focus of this building, in fact, more than half of the square footage in this building will be dedicated to cancer services. So we have our inpatient beds, we have radiation oncology, we have infusion services where patients could get chemo. So all of the services that are for treatment and diagnosis are in this building.
It was very important to make it as home-like as we possibly could. As we were looking at designing this unit, color was very important for our patients. Quite a few studies were looked at to determine what would be best soothing, calming, and healing for our patients.
The Cancer Center was designed even as far as the light and the space and the flow and how patients come through the building to make sure that they get access to everything that they may need when they're going through their cancer treatment. So even the garden level was built so that it has light, natural light coming in.
Beyond the colors and the light was also the sense of art. And that also plays a role in what we believe helps people relax. It just adds to the ambiance of restfulness and hopefully stress reduction. It's more than bricks and mortar. It's thousands of people who have put all their impressions together on what should really be happening for the patient. And I'm really excited to see the future of cancer treatment and hopefully someday a cure for cancer.
Family Matters wants to help you maximize your health and fight cancer. I'm Helen Raptis, a breast cancer survivor, and Family Matters has a few cancer prevention tips. Eat foods that boost your body's defenses, like blueberries or tomatoes. Exercise on a regular basis to stay fit. Quit smoking, or better yet, never start. And get regular health checkups. For more information, head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. Life's short, live healthy, because K2 and Providence Health and Services know that family matters.
At this point in time, in this environment, financial environment, most people are undergoing some sort of financial stress. If you know that finances are an issue and you're starting to feel like it's consuming you in a way that isn't healthy, you need to identify that. The first step to controlling your finances is really to take a very honest and close look at what your actual expenses are. Look at what your income source is and look at what bills you have to pay. This is the point where you really have to take an honest inventory so you can really assess and determine where the problems are and what you need to do to seek solution. A journal of expenses would really be to sit down over a month and you write down everything, because you might not think that spending $5 a day, say for example on a cup of coffee on the way to work, as a convenience adds up, but when you look at that over a month's time, over a year's time, that can be a significant amount of money that you're spending on things that you don't necessarily need to. It's a very tangible way that you can see what it is that you're doing. And I think that once, the first step in any problem is admitting that there is a problem, and when you take concrete steps towards fixing it, it can really eliminate a lot of stress right off the bat.
Of course, we've just scratched the surface of the different ways we can deal with and eliminate the unwanted stress in our lives. For more information, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you will find a complete resource center with video, links, and information to help eliminate stress in your life. For K2 and Family Matters, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Brian Wood. Good night.
Fisher Communications.